And so today's top 10 cars on the start line, headed there on pole position by young Mark Lloyd. Beside Mark Lloyd we have number 100 Gary Baker. On the outside of the front row from the Isles of Man, number 56 Ron Hudson there in the all-white car. Our camera car on the inside of the second row, number 18 Will Gollop. There you see a shot from the inside of the car. Beside him, Big Barry Wilmot, one of our winners this afternoon. On the third row, 58 Bill Stewart, Brian Sanham, John Cross. On the back, Ross Browning and 197 Dave Spong. They're under starters orders any moment now. The lights will go to green. Throttles are dipped, engine is filled up, and it's Gary Baker making a good start from the front row, all trying to accelerate. But it's Mark Lloyd coming and going with him, number 18 Will Gollop. Mark Lloyd and Will Gollop, there getting a close view of the back end of Mark Lloyd's car as he goes to wider line into the first corner at the top of paddock turn, and Will trying to get alongside Mark as they go down under braking for the S's. Ross Browning coming in to have a look in third place ahead of Ron Hudson, and then Gary Baker, who's dropped down now into sixth position behind John Cross. Mansfield coming through as the leaders come up Halewood into Druids. It's still Mark Lloyd and Will Gollop. These two top Formula B drivers of Great Britain leading this race, perhaps not too surprisingly, as they come round into Langley's Gap for the first time. Mark Lloyd from Will Gollop, Ross Browning, then Ron Hudson, the leaders along the notorious knife edge. As we see Will Gollop making a very determined effort to get alongside Mark Lloyd, but Mark having none of it there. And as they come over the top, down onto the tarmac once again, Will Gollop there with fists full of block as he takes the understeering Saab round behind the escort of Mark Lloyd and chases him all the way down the Cooper Straight, almost tipping the nose of that Saab under the big spoiler on the back of the escort as they accelerate away out of the chicane up to the top of the paddock turn. Will, you'll notice, taking a slightly wider approach into that corner than the escort. Mark goes in, throws the back end of the car around as they go down the steep descent of Tumble Downhill. It's still Mark Lloyd from Will Gollop, and those two cars absolutely nose to tail as they go away. Ross Browning third, Ron Hudson, then comes John Cross, then Brian Sanham moving up there well in the orange Fiesta as Will Gollop goes through into the lead. Will Gollop goes into the lead, but he goes a bit wide and too fast into the corner and too slow out of it, and that gives Mark Lloyd the advantage back again. So Will has got to get his act together again and make another challenge, but Mark Lloyd will be very anxious not to repeat that performance. He won't be giving Will Gollop much room now, I wouldn't think, at least. As they come onto the top of Poppy's Drop once again, it is still Mark Lloyd and Will Gollop having this monumental tussle coming down onto the tarmac, and again Will Gollop there collected with his Saab chasing hard on Mark Lloyd as they go down into the chicane. Flames coming from the exhaust there, wheels bouncing in the air of this all-action sport as they go back up to the top of paddock turn, and once again Will Gollop goes a little bit wider than Mark Lloyd to try and dive through onto the inside, but again Mark closes the door on him. Down once again to the S's, these two cars, and we've got David Spong off the circuit, 197 David Spong off there, and it looks as though he may have hit one of the marshals in his problems as we look back to the leaders, and Will Gollop has got him. Will Gollop through on the inside, and Will getting all together this time. He didn't go in too quick and come out too slow that time. Will showing the supreme driving talent that he's been demonstrating now for many years in British Rallycross, and Will Gollop now beginning to pull away a little bit from Mark Lloyd. These two Kentish boys giving on the very best, with another boy from Kent there, Ross Browning, sitting in third place waiting to pounce should the slightest mistake be made by our leaders. Hudson still fourth as Will Gollop then brings that blue and white Saab down onto the Cooper Straight. Come down into the chicane, and having got past Mark Lloyd, now beginning to open up quite a clear margin over the young Maidstone driver. Cool, calm and collected as ever. Driver who sits behind for a few laps, sizing up the opposition, and then makes his move, and he did it then in fine style, but now he's coming under a lot of pressure once again from Mark Lloyd. Mark coming back to have another look as they go through the S's, beginning to leave 278 Ross Browning in the distance as they come up with just over a lap to go then into the Druids hairpin. Mark Lloyd sitting about 1 car length behind the back of the Saab.
Welcome to AOL. You have email.
The same cylinder heads, the 16-valve Chevrolet Vega cylinder head on the engines of both of these cars, so I would think very evenly matched on brake horsepower, but of course completely different handling characteristics from the front wheel drive car in the lead to the rear wheel drive one in second place. There's Will Gollop, Mark Lloyd, 1-2, down the chicane, beginning to drop the rest of the opposition now as this battle rages right down towards the closing stages of this final race of the afternoon, and still Will Gollop it is, no mistakes through the chicane. Ross Browning now a very lonely third place as Will Gollop goes up to the top of Paddock Turn. Mark Lloyd hasn't given up hope yet. Mark Lloyd will be looking to get a good clean line out of the S's and try and get Will on acceleration up the hill and try and get his nose in front, I would think, for the Druids hairpin. Will Gollop, he knows, will drift wide with the understeering characteristics of the Saab, but it doesn't pay off. Will has got time to move over once again, get the inside line for the corner, and try as he may. There's nothing that Mark Lloyd can do about this man known as Whitstable Will Gollop, Saab agent down at Canterbury, coming through then over the Ridgeway, and it looks as though it's going to be Will Gollop who's going to come through. Mark Lloyd getting a bit wide there, and it is indeed Will Gollop at a very close finish from Mark Lloyd as Ross Browning takes third place. We can see Will Gollop slowing down there then to come through to be the top Formula B contender in this championship. But what a race between him and Mark Lloyd, and I think both of those lads giving of their very, very best right through to the flag. A victory for number 18, Will Gollop.
Will, that was quite a tussle you had with Mark Lloyd there.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Mark got a better start than I did, but I enjoyed it very much. It was a super race.
Now, you overtook him once, then lost it immediately.
Yes, that was my own fault, really. We were just going too quick by the time we got to Druids.
But then we can see it the second time, you didn't make the same mistake, did you?
I just cut in tight and shut the door.
We can see you there, shutting the door, no way he was going to get past you.
No, that's right.
So, what does it mean to win this?
Oh, I'm very pleased. We don't normally go as well in the dry. But the car, we're getting the car better and better now. We've been developing this engine over the last 3 years, and it really is beginning to fly in the dry. So.
And you have the added distinction of being the first driver to win with our in-car camera.
That's right, yes. I think that spurred me on a bit more as well.
Keeping a very close eye on you.
That's right, yes.
Well, congratulations. Looking forward to the grand final.
Yep, so am I.